everybody, thanks for joining me again today. For this video, I am going to be trying out this Strathmore mixed media paper that I picked up while I was on holidays. Thinking I'm going to go with a mermaid type picture today, so this is going to be another speed draw, speed paint, whichever you'd like to call it, and possibly I'll do a voiceover as well to let you know how I feel about the paper and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get started, and I hope you enjoy the video. So guys, I'm sorry this video is just a tiny bit longer than some of my other videos. This piece, even though it looks, I guess, somewhat simple to some people, was really hard for me to finish. I struggled with this piece so much, and quite honestly, I don't know why. I think I've just been in a funk, you know. I'm really not sure what's happening, but I decided to go ahead and do the mermaid like I had said, and just drawing this piece was so difficult. I just finished the coloring pages for the Art Academy not too long ago, and I was so impressed with myself with doing those because the pictures were so detailed, and I'm sitting here and I'm doing this mermaid and I'm thinking, why can't it just turn out like those coloring pages? I don't know if they burnt me out or if I'm just trying too hard or whatever the case may be. What you're watching here is the result of my struggles for that day. To be honest, this video has taken me 4 or 5 days to record. I think maybe even longer, because I just couldn't sit down for very long at a time to actually do the picture. So it's little bits and pieces done over X amount of days, and I'm actually filming on the same night that I completed the painting, so right now I'm feeling a lot better about it than when I first started. Here in the picture, in the video, sorry, this is where it starts getting frustrating to me. I didn't know what to do with her hands. I didn't know how to position her arms. I didn't know exactly what I wanted, to be honest with you, and it became so frustrating. And you'll see here in a bit that I just stopped recording what I was doing and went off screen or off camera and did my thing and finished drawing the piece before I came back, because I don't know if it was the pressure from wanting to make something good to show you guys, or you know what, I'm just gonna stop making excuses because I just don't know what happened. Either which way, you're getting a mermaid. One thing I didn't like about this picture that I did was, because I found it so hard to do the hands, I did the same thing that I used to do before, and I hid them. I hid them behind the tail, and I made it look like there was a piece of seagrass floating in front of her other hand, and I wish I didn't do that because I don't like it. And I apologize for any noise that you're hearing in the background. It is 33 degrees here tonight, and I just have to keep the windows open because, again, if any of you are watching, you know I don't have air conditioning, so I really need to keep that window open. So right here is where I decided that, you know, I'm done with the body, and this is the point where I'm thinking I'm going to hide the hands and everything, and I couldn't even get the tail of this mermaid to work out right, so I went and got my my other watercolor journal that I have to look at the previous mermaids that I've done, and I tried to pick out some parts of the tails from those characters and see if I could make something work. But like I said, overall the picture is okay. It's really not what I wanted to do, but it is what it is. Sometimes you end up with a picture. Here you can see I'm bringing out my journal. Sometimes you get a picture that you didn't really set out to do, and in the end you may or may not like it, but sometimes you get what you get, right? So here's where I've decided to go in and put in all of the seagrass behind and in front of her. I don't know if this was a good idea or a bad idea, but I know a lot of things in this painting are not proportioned very well, and you know what? I kind of got to the point where, hey, I don't really care at this stage in the game here. I just want to get this picture done, and I'm just going to have fun with it and not really worry too much about everything being in proportion. And, you know, sometimes you just have to overlook it. There was one or two things that I should not have done. The tail is not really big enough to cover her hands, even though I'm just talking about not worrying about proportions. That bothers me just slightly, and the fact that one of her arms is shaped different than the other, that bothers me as well. Other than that, I don't really mind the rest of the picture, so if I could have gone back and changed that, I definitely would have done that a little bit differently. I've used quite a bit of different medias or mediums for this painting. Starting off here first, I started with my Derwent Inktense blocks. Later on, I start using I can't English tonight. That seems to be a big problem with me lately when I'm doing voiceovers, is that I stutter so much and I can't speak clearly, so you'll have to forgive me for that. Anyway, I was trying to say that I bring out my Twinkling H20s. I use a bit of my Copics and some fluid acrylic, that's metallic, that I use in the tail. And I also, what else do I use? I use some jelly rolls and different Sharpies and liners and all that fun stuff. So that's a little bit of the different mediums that I was using there. I don't know why this looks yellow to me while I'm watching the video here, but it is supposed to be green. I'm not sure what color it's showing up to you guys, but these are definitely painted green, not yellow. And color choosing for this piece is a little bit hard for me. I'm always, like lately in my paintings, I go to the same colors over and over and over, and it's always blue, pink, green, you know, purples and colors like that. And I really want to use other colors, and I don't know if I'm just afraid to branch out and see what would happen. Because it's a big deal when you work really hard on something and you mess it up. And when you're using different mediums like this, it's kind of hard to go back in and fix it. If I was just using acrylic paint, I would have like a much more, what am I trying to say? I'd have a bigger chance of being able to fix the mistakes that I made. But it's really hard to paint, you know, watercolor on top of acrylic. And then, as you'll see later, it's really hard to try to draw over Prismacolor pencils with Sharpies. The waxiness doesn't allow you to draw over it. So there's a lot of challenges when working with mixed media when you're just trying to make a simple painting, so to speak. So well, here's when I start bringing in the Twinkling H20s. If anyone hasn't worked with these before, they're very shimmery, it's a metallic watercolor. There are a few things that I don't like about them. I don't like the fact that you have to sit and wait for them to, they need to absorb the water to make the paint usable. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't like that. When I'm sitting down to paint, I like to be able to just dive in and just paint. But with these, you kind of have to wait just a little bit. If not, you won't get the full effects of the color. Another thing that I found the next day after I was using these, I went to go put them away, and for some reason the water didn't fully dry up inside the little the pans that they're in, and it kind of made the paint sticky. and it's just like goopy paint in there, so I don't know if I ruined them somehow by putting too much water in there, so I'm hoping it's going to dry up eventually and then I can use them again, but they don't look too good right now, so I don't know what happened with that. At this stage in the picture, the paper is still holding up fairly well, and with these Twinkling H20s, I did use a whole lot of water. And I usually do. I usually put down a coating of water and then I paint on top of that, so then the paint doesn't go into other parts of the picture that I don't want a certain color. So here is where I start to use, on the side here that I'm using the other the white paintbrush with, that is fluid acrylic, and it's also metallic as well. And again, that's another thing that I find myself doing, is going towards the metallic paints quite a bit, and I'd like to be able to do something different as well, but it seems to be my go-to thing lately in most of my pictures, so I'm going to try to change that up just a little bit. But this process seemed like it took forever, and I was trying to make a gradient in the tail here just to give it a little bit of a different effect than just one plain color. So this paint was actually in a little bottle. Well, then I'm knocking it over trying to pick it up here. So this paint is Staedtler Rowney, and it's FW Pearlescent, and it's a liquid acrylic. So it comes in this little glass bottle, and one of the colors that the lightest pink I'm using there, it's actually called Platinum Pink. And it comes with an eyedropper, and it's actually good for painting with, and it looks like you can put it into a pen to use, and you can also use a dip pen with it as well to draw with, so that was kind of neat. Another thing I wish I hadn't done was draw the dark outlines around the chest area, and I wish I had used my Copics later in the picture to make that area darker where it needed to be for shadows, rather than have that harsh line on her chest. I didn't really intend to give her a bra to start with. I was going to do starfish on her chest, but then I thought, well, I've already done that, so I might as well just try to do something different. And yeah, I instantly regretted drawing those, the lines around her, the darker lines around her chest area. So around here, I decided to bring out a Sharpie and draw all these little tiny designs on the tail. It was tedious. I wasn't sure I liked it at first because I did mess up around the top of the fin there by her waist, but I pretty much fixed that with some different colors of pens later on. When I was done with this, I was happy I did it because it does make the picture stand out quite a bit. And it's from here on that you'll see that I'm putting in a lot of detail in the bottom part of the fins, and I bring in my Copics and I darken up some areas. And I start adding some shades and shadows to things to really brighten it up. Another thing that I wish I had thought of before I started painting was to add some fish or something to the background. The picture does seem a little bit bare to me. So yeah, I really wish I had done something more with the background. I did off camera go in and try to put some kind of a wavy design in through the back of the picture, kind of like if there was like a flow or a current in the water, but I didn't really like it, so I got rid of it again. And I didn't even like it enough to put it in the video, so I just didn't bother. But here you can see that I'm using my white pigment pen to fix up the tail here where I made mistakes, so I kind of just hid that quite a bit. Overall, I really did like the picture, even though I'm criticizing it quite a bit. I tend to do that a lot. Sometimes I have to walk away from a picture for a couple of days and come back to it, and then I really like it. So even though I'm being a little bit hard on myself, it's only because I want to improve and I feel like I could do better. So it's not like I'm knocking myself down that I didn't do a good job. Because I really do like the picture towards the end here when everything starts to come together. There's just certain things that I would have done different if I could. The paper itself held up really, really well. I'm really impressed with it, and I wish I had found this paper rather than the Strathmore paper in the yellow booklets that I usually use. That paper is really good as well, but it's really toothy, and this paper, it's really like a hot pressed watercolor paper, so it was really nice to use, and I can honestly say that if I have the chance to get more, I will, rather than the other paper, even though I have quite a few pieces of that left to use, so I have to use it up somehow. So yeah, I was really impressed with the paper, really impressed on how it held up to everything that I was putting on there, and so yeah, like I said, I really did enjoy the whole process, even though it did take me quite a bit of time. So this painting, it did take me quite a while to do, considering that it's really not that detailed. Overall, it was about 3 hours, spanning over about 5 days, like I had said at the beginning of the video there. But hey, it's done. It's done. So a learning experience, right? So yeah, if you liked the video, if you could go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe for more videos in the future. I'm posting twice a week, and more in between if I have a chance. Coming up in October, I'm going to be participating in, I think it's pronounced Drawloween. I hope I'm saying that right. So there's going to be some uploads of Halloween drawings and sketches and stuff like that. So that should be super fun. So I haven't done that before, so it's going to be really interesting. So yeah, subscribe and come back, and you'll get to see all that fun stuff and more videos besides that. I'm sure I'll have more posts or more videos uploaded before then. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or tips, or if you want to make some suggestions on what I could have done differently in the picture, you know, go ahead, leave a comment down below. And I read all my comments, and I really do try my best to reply to everyone that does leave one, because your support really matters, and I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch my videos and hit that like button, and for everyone that subscribes and all that fun stuff. So it's really, really appreciated, and I'm just really happy that you guys like to sit down and watch my videos and get to go, and I get to share my art with you guys. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's really fun. So I'm going to leave you at that, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now.